Travis Wayne Goodsell. So conference is over. The number of views are going to taper back down to the 40s and 50s over this week. The pre-show was 160 views in one day. The first session, 409 views in one day. Second session, 319 views in 21 hours. The women's session, 38 views in 8 hours. What happened there? And then so far, let me refresh the page. 59 views in 3 hours, so that's doing well so far. And it's only 1 minute 45 seconds for the fourth session review, because I was furious that I could not withhold my tongue, so I did that instead, and it's in my place. I linked the women's session as a pin to the video I did a month ago in preparation for this conference, which is over 1.4K. LDS presidency announces restoration of polygamy. And only 38 have seen that session, when everybody jumps to the one I did a month ago. Last year, the video I did a month in advance was LDS Church to abolish Book of Mormon for April 2021 General Conference. It's over 3.3K views. It's in the number 4th position. My LDS Last Days Exodus Has Begun is still maintaining the 3rd position as my list and order of all LDS Mormon Church Last Days signs in heaven, which was a remake of, I think, a remake, and I think this other one was either before or after it. I've redone it several times, but the first one was the 39,000 on Travis Wayne Goodsell that was done in July 2017. But on TWG, Russell M. Nelson changing the temple covenants again. Remember, temple covenants again. He keeps talking about covenant path. That's almost 8,000 views in 1 year, which was 2019. It was after March. It was definitely after February when that came out of last year. Actually 2000. So we haven't reached the 2-year mark. So understand that it's close to 2 years. 2 years ago. And I know this because I'm the one who made him change it. And he was pissed that he had to change it. But you guys don't know that. Most of you are new. I found it amusing, as Oaks pissed me off, talking about how the church gives of its abundance to charity throughout all the world, and how the world goes, wow, you give so much in charity. But good old Uchtdorf, the older women in my ward would call him the Silver Fox, came out and said, or talked about the widow's 2 mites that the Pharisees gave of their abundance and were condemned by Jesus. So expect to see Uchtdorf getting assassinated by Oakes for humiliating him in conference and exposing the church as evil. Good job, Uchtdorf. Good job. That's the whole problem that I've seen in the church all growing up, even as a kid, having the flyer for the sacrament meetings, in and among doodling for being bored, developing my talents as a cartoonist. I would hear every now and then something that goes, hey, wait a minute, that contradicts this other thing that I've heard. So I'd write it down, and then in the 2000s, the pile of papers was so big I made time to go through them and turn them into publishable works. Contradictions. Philosophy of Mormonism, and other branch-off books. Religious freedom. Rasband set me off on that. And then Nelson. Rasband openly confessed he was a Danite, and then justified being a Danite by blaming Joseph Smith. God damn, that pissed me off. Like I said, I couldn't hold my tongue and had to put in that alternate video. That's exactly what they did to Joseph when he was alive. The Danites turned him into a Christian. They took away his religious freedom. And here they are, claiming religious freedom again by still taking away Joseph's religious freedom. It's disgusting. And then with Nelson, he ordered my assassination. Ordered my financial ruin. He and previous ones, Monson, Hinckley, others called me a troublemaker, creating a troublemaker file for me, but Hinckley allowed me to contribute to the church, as I got the Jesus card to work on the Footnote project in the 2000s. As he was involved in the cancellation of my sealing of the first marriage failure. Because the prophets don't just give it out because the woman complains and demands it. There has to be criminal cause. And so yeah, there was on her. So he granted it. Her bishop asked me what my feelings were on the matter. I felt sad when she abused me in front of the kids. I felt sad when she took the kids away from me. I felt sad when she took my research away from me. I felt sad when she abandoned me and fled the country. I felt sad when she got a divorce without my consent up in Canada. I felt sad when I got the letter from the bishop. Any other feelings you want from me? The lamest asked question. But Nelson, after October's conference, when he gave me the death threat, after silencing my channel, which this I think came after. I think he shut me down for the sex trafficking. And it was after conference that I figured this one out. But or it was around that time, because yeah, it was September 21st that I was focused on. The day of the Lord shall burn as an oven. The Ukraine war, guys. I knew in advance. But regardless, yeah, I got the death threat. And then now he comes out and says, Travis, don't hurt me. You gotta forgive me. You gotta forgive your enemies. You gotta forgive those who spitefully abuse you. You gotta forgive me for sending you a death threat, destroying you financially, ordering for your assassination. You gotta forgive me. Don't hurt me. You're the one to blame if you hurt me. Yeah, I was furious. And so let's just conclude by talking about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints needing to give and restore religious freedom. First to the world. They tampered in California with Prop 8, committed financial crimes in that election to take away the religious freedom of LGBTQ. They tampered in the court cases in Colorado and California of the bakers who wanted to take away the religious freedom of gay couples who were getting married, to deny them a cake for their wedding. There were others, but the church was not involved in those. But it sprang from those court cases. There was a medical doctor who refused to care for an infant because the adoptive parents were gay. Religious freedom to deny health care. Then, of course, there's Brad Wilcox. The Black Student Union at BYU are trying to take away Brad Wilcox's religious freedom to be a racist and a sexist. Oaks talks in Virginia and is a snowflake whining and complaining that the United States of America took away the church's right of polygamy, the religious freedom of sex trafficking and sex slavery. Give back and restore the religious freedom of the world. Folks really pissed me off because what we see him doing is trying to justify the return of slavery. With his kingdoms thing, he talks about, oh, well, our plan is about 3 kingdoms of glory, not a heaven and hell dichotomy, false dichotomy. He was right about that. But then he says, because we teach that Mormons are to go to the highest degree of the celestial kingdom, which still is polygamy, section 132. So he's pushing for polygamy still. This whole conference is the restoration of polygamy. But then he said that others have to allow the church to change the laws, to get other people to conform and comply, so that they're not gay, so that they don't get civilly married, so that they aren't unwed mothers. He's talking about taking away the religious freedom of other people in the world. Again, The Handmaid's Tale is all about taking away the religious freedom of people because the people are wicked, and so they justify it by putting people into bondage and slavery and sex slavery. Is this what the church is going to do? They're buying up 17 more plots of land around the world. This is what you do when you're about to do a coup of governments around the world. You buy up land. The day that shall burn as an oven, where the men will die in war. Restore and give religious freedom to the world. All you have to do is condemn Putin. Demand that he provide a temple or give you your money back. You won't do it, will you? Because Nelson said there were good people on both sides. Reminiscent of Charlesville. Was it North or South Carolina? Charlottesville, that's it. So you guys don't catch this stuff. I do, because I know the real church history. I know brainwashing techniques. I know the truth. They won't tell you the truth. And so give and restore religious freedom to Joseph Smith. He's the learning of the Jews. Give it back to him. You're forcing him to be Christian. And he's dead. He can't speak for himself anymore. Confess to the lies of church history. and let that historical record of the church be corrected. Give back and restore the religious freedom of church history. Give back and restore Joseph Smith as a prophet, a seer, a revelator, and a translator. You have taken it from him. Give Joseph Smith back and restore his name. You have falsely accused him of many things, such as polygamy, such as being a criminal. Restore his name, the religious freedom of his name. Let the Mormons go. Give and restore Mormons their religious freedom. You lied to us from our birth. You indoctrinate us in miseducation and disinformation. You lied to us and take away our agency to be learning of the Jews. Restore our religious freedom. Give it back to us. Give us back and restore the religious freedom of our scriptures that have been taken away. Give back and restore the temple rituals of our religious freedom. Give back and restore the religious freedom of our doctrine. Let the Mormons go. And then there's me. You, Nelson, ordered that my religious freedom be stripped from me. Give it back. Restore my religious freedom. And that includes financially. That includes allowing me to restore Joseph Smith's religious freedom. Give it back.